Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this box that holds 4 perfumed tea lights. It has a little flap lid there and then there's a box that pulls out like a little drawer with the tea lights in it. It was inspired by this one, which was given to me by Linda Kasparian on stage in Telford on the 5th of November. Linda's was particularly clever in as much as when you opened it, the sentiment inside says, wishing you a season filled with warmth and cheer, and then she has the 2 gloves heating around the candles, which I thought was very, very clever. I didn't actually copy the same sentiment there. I did do the gloves, but I used something different on that one there. But this is my inspiration. I spoke to Linda about it and she said that she got the idea from a German demonstrator who has a website by the name of Stampin. And if you go onto that website, I'll put the link on the screen and in the box below. There is actually a PDF that you can download that will give you the measurements. The PDF is in centimetres, so my video is going to be in inches, because when I tried to convert the centimetres to inches, it didn't work out very well. As it is, mine has worked out to be a bit taller than Linda's, because I just couldn't do inches that tied up totally with centimetres. I can do inches to centimetres, but centimetres to inches just totally defeats me. But as there is a PDF that you can get, and I'll give you the details, I don't feel too bad just doing the inches today. So please bear with me. If you're a centimetres person, at least you can see the technique, how it's done and everything. You just substitute your measurements for what you need. So the card pieces that we're going to need, I'm using Cherry Cobbler here, and this measures 12 inches by 3 1/8 inch, and off the 12 inches you need to cut a little tad off. Now I think that's possibly about 1/32 of an inch, but you just need that tiny little piece to be cut off. Then you need another piece of Cherry Cobbler, which measures 4 3/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches. You need 6 pieces of Whisper White that measure 3 inches by 3 inches. 2 of them are for the sentiments, one there and one on the inside. Okay. And with these, if I can find it, on one of them you need to cut a tad off that side and that side. Again, I imagine it's probably 1/16 of an inch, but you can see how that one's smaller than the other 3. Now what these are going to be used for is, it's going to be used for the lining here, and there's going to be one there and one on the inside. I did one on the bottom as well. But there's also going to be one inside the box, and the one in the box needs to be a tad smaller. Okay, so you need that one. And then you need 4 pieces of Designer Series paper, and I'm using this one, the Christmas tree from Presents and Pinecones Designer Series paper, and these 4 all measure 2 7/8 inches by 2 7/8 inches. So the way we're going to do this is, first of all, I'm going to do my scoring, and then the stamping, then use my big shot, and then I'll put it all together. So, first of all, the scoring. I'm going to use my scoreboard. Now this is the scoreboard that I am offering as a prize for my November 2016 online customers. For every £50 you spend in my shop, your name will go in for a prize draw to win one of these. and the amount of the £50 is accumulative. So that means at the end of the month, if you put in more than one order, I will add the orders together to work out how many entries you're entitled to. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you've put one that's a bit short of 50 and another one that's over 50. They'll be added together to get you the right amount of entries. Right, now scoring, you're going to score at 3 1/8, 4 inches, 7 1/8, 8 inches, and 11 1/8. Now that one is the bit that's going to be the tad short. You can't see that, can you? This end here is the one that's going to be a tad short. See if you can see it from here. Okay, so that's the 12-inch line there. So the scoring for 12-inch is off. Okay, so that shows you what a small tad I've cut off there. And then for this one, we just need to score it at 7/8 on all 4 sides. That's 1, 2, 3, oops, 4. Jump the track there. So I will use my bone folder, take this on the reverse, and where is it? It's there. Just going to press that back out again. Well, that bit I'm not worried about because that will be hidden, but just that little bit there. That's okay. No great damage done. Right, so that was the scoring. Then I'm going to do my stamping, and the stamp set I'm using, if I brought it over, 2 stamp sets, that's right. I'm going to be using Jar of Cheer for wishing you a season of cheer, and I'm going to use Reason for the Season for a very Merry Christmas to you. Both of these are my favourite photopolymer. The ink I'm using is Cherry Cobbler. Just stamp these in the middle of your 3-inch squares. Let's move that right out of the way. And then this one, just lean forward a little bit. There we go, that's good. So that's the only stamping we're going to need. So I'll bring my Big Shot up. Now we need to die cut both the sentiments. So if I put that on that side, and I'm die cutting using the number 3 of the circle stitched Shapes Framelits. These are due to be launched in the new annual catalogue next year in June, but Stampin' Up! Have bought them out early. I'm really pleased to say, because they are fabulous. Right, and now on this long piece you need the end where you have the short piece, okay? Not the one where you got the great big long one, just this little piece here, and you're going to die cut a circle from there. So what I'm doing is I just push that bit through there, move that one up there, and I'm using number 6, I think this is. Let me just double check that. Yes, this is number 6 of the layering circle framelits. I always start counting my framelits from the smallest. The smaller the die, the smaller the number. So the smallest one is number 1, and then I just count up. So this is number 6. All I'm doing is making sure that this is in the centre of these edges and these score lines. Okay, that looks centred to me. And then just crank that through. Okay, so I have that, which I will save for another project sometime. And that's my circle out of there. So that's my die. And then this one is my sentiment. Okay. Don't you think that's just so gorgeous? I really love these stitch dies. Now I've got another one of these to do. So let's bring that one in. Just make sure that's in the centre. Okay. So that's that one. So that's all we need the big shot for. Now we're going to put everything together. So first of all, let's do the box, and we need our bone folder and we need some scissors. What we're going to do is we are going to cut up on 2 of these and 2 on the opposite side. Okay, I'm going to cut a straight line on the side that's against the side of the box. Okay, this is the side of the box, these bits round here, and these are the tabs. So my mitre is going on the tab part. Okay, so straight line on the side of the box side. Okay, so that's the box, and then mitre on the tab side. And then the other side, straight line on the box side, and a mitre on the tab side. And the last one, straight line, mitre. Okay. Now we're going to fold on all of our score lines and give a nice crease, good burnish. Just make sure, as always, that your sides do line up correctly. Right, now to put this together, I'm going to use Tombow, and I'm going to put some glue, fold these 4 tabs in and then put glue on them. and then just pull the sides up, adhere them together, and just check that you look as if you've got a really nice corner there. Doesn't take Tombow long to get a grip of this, but it will allow you a few seconds if you don't get it in quite the right position first time. There we go. So that looks like a nice straight box. We're also going to punch some little finger tabs. I don't really know what they call these, but it's this little bit here where you put your finger in there. Thumb grips, I don't know, finger grips. So what I'm doing is I'm punching on the side where I have my tabs. Yeah, you can see those. Okay, that's where my tabs are stuck there. So I'm going to do it in between. And what I like to do is with my 1/2 inch circle punch and the hole facing up, I put it in like that, because I find that if I push the punch to the back of the box there, it gives a nice size finger dip. And I just look to make sure that looks about halfway. Okay, so it punches out just that little bit there, and it looks like that. So that looks nice size. So do it so that you can see your punch on the inside, line it up so it's in the centre, and then just give it a squeeze. Okay, so that's that. Now we'll do the actual box, and we're going to fold and burnish on all our score lines. Now again, make sure that as you fold, your edges all meet up perfectly. If they go wonky, you're going to have a wonky box and your drawer is not going to go in there. Right, I'm going to stop and put these pieces together. I'm going to check which is my small one first, and that's that one. So I'm going to adhere these, and then I'm going to pop this one straight into the box to make sure it's okay. And I'm going to use Tombow again. I mean, if you wanted to, you don't have to use the liners, the white layering that I have, but I do like my 3 layers, whether I'm doing cards or 3D projects. Now the gap that I'm having on this is, I was going to say it's going to be tiny, but it's almost negligible, but that's okay. Once it's in the box, it's going to be fine. Okay, so that's going to fit in there nicely like that. But the reason, one of the reasons I like the extra layers is because, especially 3Ds, because it does give extra strength, reinforcement. I think I'm needing a new Tombow, as that is just a drawer liner. That's going to be fine. Now bearing in mind, mine, I've got a directional pattern. That's a tree that's got to go up that way, and that's the side of the boxes because of the finger channels, so I need that to go that way. Okay, let me just get myself another Tombow over here, otherwise I'm going to be struggling all the time. In fact, these all feel a bit empty, very light, but I'm sure I'll get through. Okay, so that's that one. I've got 3 more of these. Right, you brought them over, try using them. There's my tweezers. That's the kind of gap that it should have, or would have had I not trimmed the edges down to get it inside the box. Okay, so that's two, and the last one. There we go. Now before I put the box together, I'm going to put these on. So your box is going to go together like this. Okay, so you need one here, and I've got one on the bottom as well, on the base. So I'm going to keep mine like that. Again, I've got a directional pattern, so it matters which way mine go. So that one has a tree right in the centre, so that can go on the outside. This one's almost in the centre. That's oozing a bit, so might as well let it drip onto the cardstock. Okay, so that's that one. Is that one for here? Yes, it is. Okay, I'll just tip it up onto that one. I'm keeping my tree up the right way. So now I only have the decision to make which way to have my tree up on the base. That way, I suppose. Mind you, I doubt if people notice that it's got a base to it, let alone whether it's up the right way or not. But if there is a right or wrong way, I prefer to find it. Okay, now what I'm going to do to adhere this, because I'm in the Tombow mood, I'm going to put, what you need to do is the flap by the bit where you've punched out, that is where we're going to put our Tombow on it. And then once we've got the Tombow on there, we're just going to fold this on top of it so that when it sticks, it brings it up like that. Okay, so this is the bit for the Tombow. Don't go too close to either edge, top or bottom, because when you close it, it'll start oozing out, and that's what you don't want. Okay. So holding that down nicely, just bring this over, and what I'm doing is I'm pushing this bit down first and then letting the top bit come down as well. And it, because we cut that little tad off of our 12-inch strip, that folds over nicely. I found that if I didn't cut that little piece off, it was such an effort to get that to go down. Now if all your measurements are right and all your scoring is right, you'll find that you'll be able to do that to it. Fold it flat that way and then fold it flat that way. Okay, so if yours is doing that, you got it. Now this bit, let's put some perfumed Tealights in there as well. Now that should slide in there like that. Okay, beautiful. Now I'm going to do the sentiments, pop those on. This is the one that's outside. You could use dimensionals if you wanted to. Right, very Merry Christmas to you. Oh, I've covered up my tree. But at least it's made this look all even, all around the edge there. Okay, so there's that one. Now this one on the inside, let's try this one. Wishing you a season of cheer. Now I'm going to put the two mittens on here. I've already cut these out, and these are from, in fact I haven't cut that one very well, a sheet of the DSP from Candy Cane Lane. I'm afraid I don't have a proper sheet to show you. I really am running out. Let's see, I had those two strips. Hopefully that's enough for you to, if you've got this series of paper, you'll know which one it is. It's got the crumb cake on the back with like snow on it. Alright, and it's just these mittens that have been cut out. Oops, I've got a bit of glue on my finger. So those have already been fussy cut. One of them not very well by the looks of things, this one, because I can still see some brown on it. That's alright. So I had something on the back of this one. I'd stamped a greeting and then I'd heat embossed it with some clear embossing powder on red ink. But I can't remember why it didn't work out. Right, now to put these on I'm using Tombow again. This is getting ever so messy. I don't know why it does this, but sometimes this glue in here just develops a life of its own. Look at that, absolutely going potty. Let me put the lid back on there. That really will be an accident. I'd rather struggle with something that's too slow. Right, what I'm going to do, if I do it on this one, I'll show you. You can see the thumb sticking up this way, so I'm just putting glue on this bottom half away from the thumb. Going from one extreme to the other here, aren't I? There we go. And then the half with the glue is going on here. Okay, and again with, yeah, make sure you got two, one left hand and one right hand of these. And again, just half of it. Hopefully that's the last of the Tombow, I think. And then put the other mitten on there. Okay. And on the top, two decorations. One is I'm going to put some rhinestones. Where's my... There we go. I've got 3 little rhinestones here. Don't think I've cut that. Okay, paper piercer. Just slide that on there. Yep, that looks okay. Now with the little bells here, these are from our red and silver bells, and what I do is I put 2 onto a piece of our Cherry Cobbler Baker's Twine. This comes with a set, it's a combo pack. It's Cherry Cobbler, Garden Green and Gold, I believe. Now what I do for this is I tie a knot once, and then I tie a knot again. So that means that when I tie a bow now, it's not going to disappear right in the centre between the 2 bells, which is what happened to my first one. And just a little bow. Just pull the tails, tidy it up, then pull the ears to tighten it. Looks as if I got a little bit of white fluff in there somewhere. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so I think that's fine. Now I'm just going to cut some of the ends off here. I don't want them quite as long as that. And then I'm going to put these onto my box using a glue dot, which are here. Now what I found is best with this is to take a glue dot and roll it into a little sausage, and then pop that on the back of the actual bells. If I can detach myself from this, I'll show you. This is the problem of having such good quality glue dots. Right, it's come down a little bit, but you can see that I've got the glue on the actual bells there. On this one, this side, it's come down too low, but I'm going to see if I can wiggle that a bit. That's what I do, place it down where I want it, and then I get my paper piercer in there to push the glue dot down, and I try and get the Baker's Twine to go on top of it as well. Okay, I'm not quite sure what happens under there, but I do know that it doesn't come off. In fact, that looks like ears and 2 eyes, doesn't it? Oh, well, never mind. So there we go, that's today's project. Absolutely stunning, very, very easy, and such a fantastic gift. Let me show you 2 others that I've made. There's this one, which the DSP is the Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper. I've only got the red Perfumed Tealights that are Christmas colours. I do have other colours, but not Christmassy ones. And I've also got this one as well, which is Garden Green and the designer series paper is from this Christmas specialty designer series paper, and again green on the inside. I've used the same sentiment all the way through. The very first one I did was my least successful. That's this one. And I did use a different trinket on there. I used one of our silver ones. But on this I used our Whisper White Whisper White cardstock, and I just could not get the size to go right. And it was only when I went on to using cardstock on here that it started fitting really beautifully. So I think because Linda's works beautifully with the white, I think that's probably the difference with centimetres and inches. I think centimetres is well suited to the Whisper White. It may also be well suited to the cardstock. I don't know, I haven't tried it, but I do know that the inches is definitely well suited for the cardstock. Okay, so many thanks for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope you give this a try. If you have any questions, please leave a comment in the box below or send me an email to janb@janbcards.com. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here, except obviously the Perfumed Tealights, please click on the link to my 24/7 shop in the box below. And if you've enjoyed my video, please click on the subscribe button, and then you'll be notified every time I post another video, which is normally on Wednesdays and Sundays. And I will also put all the measurements in inches and the products I've used on the screen. I'll give you on the screen, I'll also put the link for the Stampin' fee where you can get the measurements in centimetres. But if you're watching on a device where you can't see this writing on the screen, click on show more below, and that will open up the box, and I'll put all the information down there for you. Two last things. One is, don't forget that I am running a prize draw in November. That's November 2016. For my online customers, for every £50 you spend, your name will be entered into the prize draw to win one of our scoreboards. And also Stampin' Up running a special promotion at the moment called Online Extravaganza, and there are lots and lots of products that have reductions on. It's running from the 21st to the 28th of November 2016, and on the 28th of November, the last day, there's going to be a flash sale with some really special reductions on some of our products. So do check the my website out. If you click to my shop, that will show you what's on offer, the prices, reductions, discounts, etc, etc. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.